Welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Dubai Hustle is back, and we are live with the brokers from House and House and stars of the show about the ambitious young real estate agents trying to make it in Dubai. It's Chris Locke and Adam Kumar. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
for having us.
Well, thank you for season 3.
Coming soon. Yeah, we've just sort of started work on it. Obviously, Chris and I, we're not only in the same team, but we're on the show together. So we obviously have a close relationship and a unique experience being on a TV show and working in the industry. So yeah, it's exciting times.
For people who haven't seen it, because it actually doesn't air in Dubai, tell us what actually is the premise of the show.
Well, we've done obviously first 2 seasons. I think that was just about us coming out fresh from the UK, these new brokers. Some of us had never done the job before, and it was just following our sort of process of learning, developing, and sort of our life behind the scenes as well. So now we're on to the new season. We've been here, you've been here 2 years as well, just about that. So we're established. So this season, I think it's going to be a lot more gritty, a lot more into the job. You'll see a bit more doing viewings and try to close more deals. And, you know, we're actually brokers now. We're not just fresh off the boat. So, yeah, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be different. I think they're shooting it in different angles. So you're going to see a lot more.
We want the grit. That's what, when you're watching a reality show, you literally want the grit. What is the grit?
Like, obviously, people know that the broker or the broker industry is obviously a commission-based industry, and that sort of speaks for itself. It is like cutthroat to that extent. It's very obviously like dog eat dog, but I think it's good because like obviously Chris had that storyline in the first series, but if we aren't being competitive within the agency, for sure there's thousands of other brokers out there, hundreds of other agencies, and they are as hungry, if not more, to get those deals across the line. So I think it's all sort of by and part of the game, and I'm here for it. Obviously, Chris is here for it. Thankfully, we're both still here in Dubai making it work. So
still friends?
Most definitely,
yeah,
most
course,
definitely.
Of course, we work in the same team together.
Yeah.
So you'll probably see that develop. We've never fought for a deal yet. Who knows what's to come in the next season?
Yeah. That's the thing, because it's all about fighting for the deal. And what we asked you before, but now you're 3 seasons in, does being on the show help you sell houses? Or does it do the opposite?
Well, I've not really had much generational like leads from the TV show. I've had a few people from back home, Scotland, to be honest. They're saying, "Oh, I want to buy a house," and they've given me a wee message on Instagram. I've met them out here, but it's more about what it does for us as, you know, our brand. If I know Adam and Jake, they love this, my brand, and they really push that. So I think that's great for them and us. I mean, I've been out in viewings and they've been like, "Oh, you're the wee guy for the TV show." And I'm like, "That's me." So it's a bit of an icebreaker. Yeah. They've seen me and they know what my personality's like. So yeah, it can help us. Hopefully this next season will take it to the next level for us though.
Do you think it helps you sell houses?
Pretty much just to echo Chris's thoughts. It's not directly per se someone's called me and said, "Hi, I've seen you on Dubai Hustle. I'd love to sort of sell my property or transact with you." But I think obviously in this industry, when there are no barriers to entry, things like this just like a credit that we are genuine brokers. We have this sort of background and we are working with integrity. And I think in an industry like this, where there are, like I said, no barriers to entry, it can only be beneficial. And it may not conclude in a transaction immediately, but over the long term, I think it'll be progressive for sure.
So it's building people's trust in you. So when you watch shows like Selling Sunset and all of these reality shows in general, people have personalities, right? And then there's potentially, I think, spin doctors behind the scenes building your personality and like only taking off certain points. Does that happen in the show? And also, can you describe your personality on the show?
That's a great question. How do you describe myself? I think, to be honest with you, which is quite nice, is that the TV show is authentic. Yeah. Although they give you some sort of lines that they want you to sort of follow, the essence of the TV show is true. So a lot of things you do see are genuinely things that are happening. And just to sort of summarize, I guess, my character within that show is someone who's obviously come to Dubai. I had obviously a relatively successful corporate job in a big 4 company back in London. I've given all of that behind to sort of pursue my goals and ambitions within this industry and obviously my personal goals.
Wow.
Yeah, Adam is quote of the day. Actually, he is in the show.
I was outside taking photos of all your quotes. I was sending them to Jake saying, we've got to add this to our next post.
It's big. We love that attitude, I tell you.
So there's nothing that's scripted in it. It's all based on our life and what's happening. So that's obviously something that we don't know what this season's going to hold or develop us. My character within the show is probably just, I like to have fun, I like to have a joke, but at the same time I'm pretty much here for the money and I want to make deals happen and do that any way possible.
The mindset of real estate brokers in Dubai is that, right? And interesting what you said is that you gave it all up to come here, because a lot of people look at the real estate kind of market in Dubai. It's going wild at the moment. People are giving it all up to come here. Mm-hmm. Would you recommend that? Is it easy? Is it as shiny as it looks like?
I would only recommend that if you had some sort of support, you had some sort of finances behind you. Mm-hmm. It's commission only. And you know yourself, it's not cheap to live in Dubai just for your rent, your car, your food. The basic essentials are going to be a few £1,000s a month usually. So if you've not got that, you're not going to come here and start earning 5, 10, 15, 20,000 pounds a month right away. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you've got to have that. You've got to have ambition, and you've got to realise there's the basics of the job that are not glamorous. Like you're sitting on a phone most of the day and you're cold calling, or you're phoning through people you've spoke to for 2 years just to keep them up to date. And you know, there's only that small margin where you're going to get a person who's going to sell and then going to sell with you. And that's when you start making money. So yeah, it's not going to all happen right away. So it's great. It's amazing. I would say if you want to do it, do it. Yeah. But have the right, you know, footing to do so.
Yeah. Literally, just to sort of follow on from Chris's points. I remember, obviously, the directors at House & House, they always bring in top talent to sort of give us training. And they brought a gentleman from Australia called Josh Fegan. And he said it's obviously the reality of the job is all of that, but you just got to change your mindset and realize you've been given the opportunity to work in probably the best real estate market in the world currently, which is obviously, as everybody knows, on fire right now. And like, where else would you want to be doing a job like this? Like, the city speaks for itself. I fell in love with it before I even came here. I never even visited here. I just moved out here and started living here. And like, you've got the opportunity to sort of chase down your own financial goals and your own ambitions whilst working in the best sort of real estate market in the world. So it's exciting.
It is exciting, but what you said there about the calls is so interesting, because people don't see that. Even in the show, like, I see people picking up calls, but we all pick up phones during the day. How many calls do you need to make a day to make a sale? How many calls do you guys make a day?
It depends. The current market's obviously hot, but that's only because there's a lot of buyers and very much little stock on the market. So obviously that's, demand is high, but there's not much to buy. So that's why obviously prices are the way they are and the demand's gone up, and even in the rental and sales market. So yeah, but when there's little stock, you're doing everything you can to be that individual with the most stock. So you can make 100 calls a day easy. You'd do that as well. And that's 100 connected calls, not just like, you know, I'll ring the phone 100 times and, you know, hang up before it gets to voicemail. You know,
you guys hearing that? 100 calls a day to make these sales. That's huge.
Yeah, like you need your minutes on your mobile.
Yeah, it's a lot of calls. Yeah, sure. There's like, people sometimes say, I was listening to, Jake was on another sort of podcast and he was talking about it as well. Sometimes people think the industry is easy, and obviously there is glamour to it. And they sort of leave the sort of like 9 to 5 to work in real estate, thinking it's more flexible. But I think that's far from the truth. Yeah. It's more of a 24 hours job, and like on a commission-based role, you're paid on your capacity. So like, if you can keep on going and you can keep on sort of sowing those seeds, it will definitely come into fruition at some point.
I'm glad you guys mentioned that demand is hot, because what everyone wants to know is it a good time to be a real estate broker in Dubai?
Yeah, I think whatever the market is, I think it's a great time to be a real estate broker. I love the job, I love the role. Currently, if you're asking right now in the current market, is it good? It's great, but there's a lot of competition as well. So unless you're doing something differently and you're taking advantage of that and you're putting in the extra calls and you know, you're working well with your clients, because that one buyer can have 10 agents easy. What are you doing to really make sure that you're working the best for them, standing out and being that one that you're their go-to agent? That's what I'd say is different. So yeah, it's a great time, but there's probably about 8 or 9 brokers that would tell you differently. It's true, right?
Yeah, so just to follow on like from Chris's points, the way I would sort of see it is in 2 ways. One, the market, in my opinion, I think the market is stable. I think it's buoyant. The good thing about Dubai has so many demand pull factors, and then not taking into consideration the countries that people are leaving from, there are so many push factors that the market economies to real estate is very basic. It's supply and demand. And with demand being so strong and supply, as Chris mentioned, being limited, I think the prices will stay. So if you are a broker, there's still opportunity to make money, but obviously you want to give the best service, and the money is a bypart of that service. But personally speaking, from my experience in this market, and if anyone's sort of watching and thinking, should I join? I also did a little bit of a stint in leasing, and in this market, which is a seller's market, being able to sort of leverage those relationships, those in-depth relationships which I built over a year ago, is definitely proving to be fruitful. Because in the seller's market, anyone can bring a buyer and give you the best price. But if you've got a relationship with the seller and you can obviously know how they work, how you like to work, you guys can get an exclusive relationship and get them the best result.
That is a good time to be in real estate in Dubai. You know what though? Last time we had you on the show, Chris, you mentioned that going forward, you would nearly like to show like the other side. So when we see all these amazing real estate shows, it's like the big villas on the palm, and that's kind of like what draws reality TV. But you said that you would like to kind of, show people the more real aspect of Dubai. Is that something that the show's going to look at? Yeah,
thanks for bringing that up. Obviously, they're looking for ideas for what we're going to be filming. We started filming this week. And we've done a few scenes, and we're going to be more in-depth with the properties and what's in show. And both of us, we work in the Emirates Living. So, I mean, these are 18, 20 years old now.
Emirates Living, is that Emirates Hills?
Well, it can be. That does take part of it, but that's probably like 1% of what's transacted.
Okay.
It's more Springs, Lakes, Meadows. That's where we focus on. So we're going to show you like these communities that are the family communities that are the highest transacted actually in Dubai. It's not the 1 in 1,000 that's actually been sold. So yeah, I'm going to show you probably some cockroaches in bathrooms, hopefully a minimum of that. But I'm going to show you the real Dubai, where everybody lives, where everybody knows, and those actual communities. It's not going to be all glossy. But that's money's to be made there, and you actually build great connections with people who purchase there.
I think that's going to be music to people's ears, because there's a lot of talk about reality shows in Dubai and kind of the lens that they show of Dubai to the world. So actually showing the reality and the grit, as you said, is amazing. And can I just say massive congratulations, because Dubai Hustle recently appeared on BBC iPlayer's Best of 2022 list, meaning it's one of BBC's biggest hit shows. So congratulations, guys.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Know that?
Did you not know that? Well, here you go. So we're very much looking forward to season 3. It's filming now in Dubai, so if you spot them, say hello. When is it going to be released?
We don't know yet. We're sort of just started filming for the next couple of months. So probably finish filming, I don't know, May, June time. And then you've got, obviously, it could extend. That's what happens. Yeah. So we've no idea. We're hoping for end of the year it will be released. And all the families back home. My mum's all excited. She's my biggest fan.
We love you, mums. Guys, thank you so much for joining us on the show. We cannot wait to see season 3 when it's released. And if you spot them, say hello. They are the stars of Dubai Hustle from House on House. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank
you. Cheers.
Cheers.